Hey Saints, quick video after a really long day. I'm actually getting a little sick, so my voice may sound a little strange, and that's why. Pray for me if you think about it. I titled this little driver's training, the Great Commission and YouTube. Why did I say that? Because I had an encounter in what was my doing. So encounter maybe is not the right word because I initiated it. But I don't know if you remember a couple videos ago, I shared the gospel with this young man, and a bunch of people came in the room, and so I wanted to see this. I think it was last week, how he was doing, and if he had any questions. So there was a pause in life and the busyness at work, and so I just came up to him and I just said, "Hey, what did you think about this conversation about Jesus?" I don't know if I said, "Do you have any thoughts or any questions?" And it was his response was interesting because he said, "Yeah, and he's not American, so he said, I don't really know if I can go to church or something like that." And first my mind was like thinking, I wasn't inviting him anywhere. It was a little strange, but I think he's got another coworker who's a Christian who's been inviting him to church. But for some reason, he thought I was trying to invite him somewhere. And so I wanted to separate that and so I did say, I said, "Listen, no, I'm not trying to invite you anywhere." He's like, he almost was relieved. I said, you don't need to go anywhere. I said, what I wanted to know was what you thought about Jesus. And I think that's a really important lesson for us and those of you listening to these videos, because all too often we do think the goal is to bring them to church or some sort of event, and if they're not interested in going, we don't even really know what to do next. Like, that's the goal. Or maybe we try to get them to the next event, or they're just not ready for an event yet. No, the Bible talks about making disciples. So anyway, the whole thing was strange, and I didn't have a whole lot of time, but I didn't go down that whole path, because that's not where I was taking him. And so I always bring it to Jesus, and I said, you probably have lots of questions or something like that. And he goes, "Yeah, I have lots of questions." I said, that's good. And I said, "Hey, I know we're busy, and it's okay if I send you some information about Jesus." And he's like, "Well, what? How? What do you mean? Where can I learn?" And I'm like, "YouTube." And he's a young guy. He's a young USC grad, so he's really smart. And I said, "YouTube," and he's like, "Oh." And so instead of letting him search around, right, because you never know where that'll lead, and I know there's an enemy who's fighting hard after his soul as well, could direct him into, who knows, all kinds of crazy places. So I said, "I'll send you something." And so after work, I went through and I searched some videos, watched a bunch of videos, and finally picked one. Really, it was Ravi Zacharias, who's an intellectual. This guy, I think, is an intellectual. I'm trying to find somebody who matches him. A very thoughtful, very factual guy, and very persuasive. So I sent him, and it wasn't really long. I wanted something that he could easily digest, and he would actually watch, and then we could have a conversation about it. So that's it. And so that's it. So one of the reasons I wanted to tell you this was, a lot of times we have a lot of fear because we don't have all the answers, right? We're afraid to even have the conversation because it might go somewhere where we can't answer. Well, I want you to know there's this thing called YouTube, and there's tons of videos that you can send people. People like to watch videos. So if you can't answer a question, it's okay. Tell them, that's a great question. Honor their question and say, "I'm going to find a video on that. I'll send it to you." Get their permission, and then do it, and then follow up. So utilize the resources that are before us. In this case, use YouTube. Okay? God bless you guys.